Hello, gorgeous manifestors. Happy Friday. Hope you're all super looking forward to the weekend. And I'm very excited to be live today with the fifth and final part of the Aligned and Limitless Bootcamp. So it has been an amazing week this week. Lots of high energy, high vibration, lots of movement, lots of guidance from the universe. It's been really, really awesome. So thank you to each and every one of you that has been here. Hope you have loved being a part of it as much as I have loved hosting it. And today, I've just received some guidance on what we're going to be talking about, but I will also do a live Q&A at the end today as usual as well. So you have the opportunity to ask me anything that you want to ask. For those of you wanting to take part in the full 3-month Aligned and Limitless Inner Circle, because obviously this is just kind of like lots of sort of tasters of what's to come in that 3-month inner circle, then the links above. And if you want to have a chat with me about it, feel free to inbox me. That starts on Monday the 4th of November, and I'm so excited at who the universe is bringing through to sign up for that. It is so exciting. So make sure you don't miss out if you're being called to do it, and I'm so excited to welcome you. But without further ado, let me know how you are feeling today. How is your vibration? How are you feeling after yesterday? Again, I gave you some powerful tools yesterday to start playing with, or to add to your toolkit, not start playing with. We've been playing with tools a week, but to add to your powerful manifesting toolkit. So let me know how you are. Joanne says, I am so excited. My energy has come back. Amazing, Joanne. Hello, my darling. Claire, sunshine, rainbows, music on, reading a book about joy, relaxed and lovely. Amazing. Hi, Diana, darling. Hello, hello, hello. Cool. So, right. So the guidance that I have had today for all of you is that you've got your hands on some really powerful magic now, is what Sarah, my higher self, has been saying. So you now know some of the magic that is at your fingertips. Obviously, it's up to you whether you want to use it. Obviously, it's up to you whether you want to be consistent with it. It's really like, I'm not here ever to force anyone to do anything. All I can promise you is this is powerful, powerful stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't still be teaching it 2.5 years on, okay? And you now have some of the magic ingredients. You now have insight into some of this magic that's at your fingertips that you can fully leverage and harness, because this is about you unlocking your full potential. There are so many people on the planet at the moment who are not unlocking their full potential because of fears, because of not really knowing about manifesting and the universal laws. You're not one of them. You watching this, whether it's live or on catch up, or even if this is weeks down the line in the future, a year down the line, know that you know the kind of secret, you know how to start using these tools now, and these tools truly unlock your limitlessness. But it's about continuing to move with them and to keep expanding, moving forward, if that is your desire. Because as I say, it's never down to me to force anybody to do stuff. But if you are truly wanting to live an aligned and limitless life where expansion is just happening daily, like daily, I have expansion, and that's in a physical way but also in a vibrational way, okay? If you want that, now take these tools forward, keep moving with them. If you want more of this, because obviously this is only just sort of scratched the surface of the kind of content I'm going to be bringing forward in the inner circle. If you want more of this, sign up for that or book a call with me. If you don't want more of this, but you just want to kind of use the tools that I've given you this week, move with it still. Don't just stop here after this week. And that's something that I say to my clients all the time when they finish working with me. Continue to move forward and continue to expand. It's always been my message, because these tools, as I've said several times this week, aren't just to use for like five minutes and then stop. These are your powerful toolkit for life and some. There's so much more to come. There's so much expansion. This is just the warm up, okay? So enjoy these tools and use them. And your inner being, so we've talked about this briefly this week as well in the practices, your inner being which is like, if you think of it as like a column of pure high vibrational energy that runs from the pineal gland in the center of your mind down the center of your body to the base of your pelvis. That's your inner being. Your inner being is that ever eternal part of you. It's always 100% high vibration, pure positive high vibration. And your inner being is always leading you to where you want to go. And I remember being on an Abraham Hicks cruise, and they literally said this on the stage: your inner being is taking you where you want to go. So every time you launch a desire, your inner being is all over it and taking you there. And it's your job to keep up with it. So that's what they said. And that's what Sarah reminded me of when I was just thinking about, you know, what she wanted me to talk about today. So it's your job to keep up with it, okay? So if you think about the messaging, there's been so much messaging this week about not filtering out the inspired actions, but moving with all of them, not saying no to inspired actions, not letting fears stop you, because your inner being is always moving forward. And every time you are not kind of moving with that inner guidance, you're getting, I guess, more disconnected from it. Yeah, that's right. Because it's going to keep moving forwards to where you want to go. Your inner being is always loving you so hard, is always wanting the best for you, but it can't take it with you. It can only guide you. But when you keep up with it, and this is about this continued expansion, this is about, you know, sometimes I use the term expansion on steroids. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I never imagined 2.5 years ago I would be here now, even coaching things that move beyond the art of manifesting. We talked about some of those on Wednesday, and, you know, I'll be going into all of that way more in the inner circle as well. Like, literally, I never would have thought this would have been me 2.5 years ago. And there's nothing different about me to you. It's just I move with the tools daily, and I'm always moving with the inner guidance. Even if that inner guidance is uncomfortable, I move with it, because I know that my inner being, my universal non-physical team, my higher self, they know the fastest way to get me every single thing that I desire. And I'm going to keep up with them, even if some of those choices or inspired actions feel a bit scary or a bit confusing. Sometimes I get inspired actions and I'm like, okay, I have no idea how this fits into everything, but I'm going to go with anyway. And that's something that Esther talks about as well. She sometimes gets inspired actions, doesn't really know how they're going to lead to any certain place, but she moves with them. And then further down the line, it becomes really obvious why she was given that inspired action, why she moved with it. So this, my darlings, is about continuing to expand and continuing to keep up with your awesome inner being. And Sarah's just kind of saying, what are you waiting for, guys? You know, I myself, not Sarah, well, she is me and I'm her, but I stayed in PR for 5 years longer than I should have done. And thank goodness I finally got a universal clout and moved on from it. But I could have started that whole journey 5 years earlier if I had listened to the guidance. So, you know, she's kind of just very lovingly and very passionately and almost a bit forcefully just saying, what are you waiting for? We are here to expand the universe and the multiverse by enormous measures, if that's what we choose. As we expand our own lives, we are expanding the multiverse, okay? As we are stepping in to the full potential of ourselves, which comes when you allow yourself to be led, that's when everything really opens up for you. I've got the dog scratching the rug again. She seems to do this whenever I do a live. Belle, thank you. So what are you waiting for? So we did look at some fears yesterday, but given the content that we've moved through this week and some of these magic, powerful tools that you have now, are there things that are still holding you back? So, and I wasn't planning to say that necessarily, but she's just guiding me to ask, are there any things that you still feel are holding you back? And then we will help you through them, because now, if you choose it, is your time to move forward and expand. You know, one thing I just will say, just while I'm waiting for some questions to come through, or just some thoughts to come through as well, because I know I just asked you a question, it's really important not to use others. This is Sarah. It's really important not to use other people's journeys as your benchmark. So I was chatting to a client earlier who was starting to feel contrasty because she was looking at what other people were doing, and she slipped back into that old habit of thinking because that's what they're doing that she should be doing that too. And I just kind of reminded her to stay true to her. Just because one person does it one way does not mean it's the right way. If you all think each and every one of you is your own special soul with your own awesome soul contract, none of them are going to be the same. And when you try and use other people's success or expansion or whatever it is that you desire and someone else has it, if you look at their journey to getting it, don't do that necessarily, because quite often people are doing this the hard way. Remember, there's only about 7% of people on the planet that understand law of attraction, and so she was getting a bit pulled back into doing things the hard way that weren't a match with her at her soul level. So stay true to you. Remember, it's your life on your terms. You can create it in whatever way you want, okay? And just as one example, for people who are running online businesses, you don't have to show up each day. Sarah actually said to my client this morning, law of attraction doesn't care about Facebook algorithms, okay? Like, everything you do is about energy. And this particular client I was speaking to, they were saying that they felt that they had to go live all of the time, and I said to her, there is literally no point unless you are aligned. There's no point. Facebook doesn't care about algorithms. I keep stuttering over that word. It doesn't care, and it made me laugh when I got that guidance, but it really doesn't. Your energy is everything. So, you know, and she was kind of getting herself into a bit of a tears because she had seen other people that were doing certain things, and she felt therefore she had to do it, but it didn't feel aligned to her. So again, it's always about tuning back into your inner guidance, always leaning back into you. Okay, what is it that you are being led to do? It doesn't matter what anyone else does. And a really top tip that I will give so many of you is stop watching other people's journeys. Focus on your own. Obviously, if there's certain people that you are aligned to, have like one or two or three that you align to, but don't start comparing to everyone else and watching their journey and trying to copy them. That's the other thing. I don't know why that's coming through now. It must be relevant for someone here. When you try and copy something, it's not your energy. So wear your own energy, follow your inner guidance, and trust that that is right for you. So I hope that really helps, just because it's so common for us to get sidetracked and disheartened when we look at what other people are doing, but that's their path. When you follow your higher self, that's your path, and it's going to be a lot faster and a lot easier and a lot more powerful and a lot more wondrous when you follow the path that your higher self is giving to you, rather than going with the logical, what is everyone else doing type thing. So I hope that helps, darling. So let me just scroll down and see what comments coming through. Hi, Catherine, darling. I'm so happy. Went to see the venue for the retreat and it's amazing. Can't wait. Awesome, Catherine. I'm so proud of you for taking that inspired action and moving with it. Really thrilled for you, darling. Excellent. Gosh, there's lots of you watching today. Hello, everybody. My guidance is to dump everything pretty much and radically reinvent my life. Wow. Okay, that is big guidance. So what is your first step with that one, darling? And interesting. Okay, move with it. Kate says, fear of this too good to be true, fear related to past programming. Yeah, so that's really common. And I have to say, a lot of clients that I work with are still very often like, but can I believe that this is real? So obviously I do a lot of work with them to just help them to really gain that trust. And exactly those thoughts of, is it too good to be true? And I think you were watching yesterday, Kate, the live that I did, and that guidance that we are here to be limitless. The fact that so many of us aren't, is sorry, this is kind of just coming through now, I think is really really just strange. If you think about it, it's really strange that most of us aren't, living these limitless lives. It's actually really strange. That's the thought process that I've got sort of coming through at the minute. It's almost like they're quite baffled, because it should be that each and every one of us is limitless. We've got all of these universal laws at our fingertips, our higher selves. And for those doing the inner circle, like your broader non-physical teams will start to play the energy of that as well. Like with all of those tools at our fingertips, we should all be like freaking rocket fuel, expanding like that. And so it's almost odd to think that the vast majority of people aren't, because it's what we are actually here to do. So when you have those fears around it being too good to be true, just create some new truths around that, and think almost like it's crazy for it not to be true. It's insane for it not to be true. Look at all this leading edge insight we have. Like, why have we been doing it the hard way for so long? Do you know what I mean? So, but it's a really common thing, that one, Kate. So thank you for sharing, because that will resonate with a lot of people. But it's like everyone else is doing it the hard way. So again, create some truths around that, because they really are, you know. And this is about path of least resistance, but also freaking leveraging law of attraction and our multiverse to the freaking max. Like, why would we not want to do that during our lifetimes? We only get one physical incarnation of us. There's only ever going to be one me. So yes, my soul will go on and be in non-physical for eternity, but I only get me here right now. One me. So why would I not want to freaking unleash everything that's in my vortex and become insanely aligned and limitless? Why do we not all want that? And that is because there's a lot of conditioning, because we aren't told that that's normal. But imagine raising our children and they grow up with this messaging. It's going to be like firework. It's just going to be awesome. So sorry, Kate, going off on one there, but I'm very, very passionate. So thank you for that. Kate says, fear I'm not hearing the guidance, not following correctly. Okay, so Kate, darling, if you do the inner circle, that's something we will work really closely on, because it can take some time to understand what it feels like, and then also to trust it. And so again, to shortcut that process, that's something that we can work on in the inner circle with you. It's interesting that you're feeling like you're not really hearing it. I'm just sort of being made aware that it's not always hearing. I don't really hear. I kind of get downloads, and everyone receives differently. So for me, it's like a block of thought. Basically, it's like a kind of, it's like I get a feeling and then it translates into kind of thoughts, if that makes sense. I don't hear an actual voice. It's like I just receive, like chunks of thought almost, and all of us can receive in different ways. So be aware of trying to hear it. Sarah's saying feel it. It's more of a feeling thing, but it does take mastery. So I will help all of you in the inner circle with it to expand on it. But the bigger inspired actions, where you have those big moments of, whoa, that is an amazing idea, that is inspired action. So it's not that I hear it, but it's like this light bulb idea. And this happens quite a lot with me, because I'm obviously always working on my vibration. I was on a call earlier and I was getting these downloads whilst I was on the client call, and these like light bulb moments for them. Okay. And so it may be, Kate, Sarah's saying, you may be getting guidance for others as well at times, she's saying. So I find that it's easier to get guidance for you guys than it is for me sometimes. I find that I try too hard when I'm trying to get guidance for me, but whenever I come on and do these lives, it literally flows through me. So that's kind of what Sarah's saying. You may want to practice a bit there, and you probably already do it without really noticing and realizing. So again, just keep her light, fun energy about it. As Abraham Hicks would say, be easy about it, but it will be happening. And the more you become aware of it, the stronger it gets. And it almost is like it starts to get a bit on tap. Like over time, that is where it should get to, where literally you're kind of, if you want to kind of ask questions, there's kind of guidance around you a lot of the time. So keep going with it, darling. You are doing amazingly. Oh, Harris, how are you, my angel? Are you back from Australia? You must be. It's lovely to see you here, sweetie. Right, Kate says, Sarah just said that algorithm thing, and it was an did again with the copy. She's amazing. Sorry, I can't understand what you've written there. And it was an aha. Did it again. Okay, Sarah's very tuned into you, Kate, isn't she? Amazing. I'm glad you understood the words. I'm stuttering. I couldn't really get it out very clearly. Oh, Harris, I'm so glad you're back. I have fear that I'll follow the guidance, trust, but that it won't do anything. Okay, so again, really common. But I said this to a client this morning. You can't ever get it wrong, ever. Even if you follow the guidance and it doesn't work out, the universe is always bringing you the best outcome. And when you move further forward down the line, you will then look back and always see that it was part of the unfolding. So Sarah's saying you can't follow an inspired action and it not do anything. You can't. The inspired action does always lead to something because it's part of you moving forward and expanding. So it's not that it won't lead to anything. It's just you may not see what it leads to straight away. So I've had some inspired action this morning that's a little bit odd to me, and I'm going to move with it. And it might not be that I know what it is right now or where it's led to right now, but further down the line I will. So this is why I say to clients who are running businesses to follow the guidance and do launch whatever it is they are being guided, but to not get fixated on the outcome. Okay. And actually, sorry, I'm just getting a bit more guidance there. That's quite a common thing. People get fixated on a certain outcome. And remember, my lovely, that when you move with something and you pick one outcome, you limit off all of the other thousands of outcomes that the universe has. So it's almost about, again, you trusting. So like, for example, guys, when I launch things in Mastering the Art of Manifesting, I don't think about the numbers. I kind of know my maximum, but I don't get caught up in the numbers. So many people I know that launch think, right, I must have X amount of people. I never ever do that. I'm literally like, I just want the universe to bring me whoever it is that is the right match for me. The universe always knows what it's doing. I'd rather have 5 of the bang on clients that are exactly where I am in terms of we are at the right place to work with each other, rather than like lots more that aren't at the right place. I just always kind of let go of the detail of the outcome, is what I'm being guided to say to you. Like, let go of the detail of the outcome, but know that you can't take an inspired action and it won't do anything. That won't happen. If it's an inspired action, it will lead to some unfolding. It will be part of your unfolding, even if it's not obvious straight away. So always move with it. And sometimes the inspired action can lead us to some growth. You know, I've taken some inspired action, then it's kind of led to some contrast, and I've been a bit like, what the frick? And then further down the line, I'm like, oh my goodness, that grew me so much and expanded me energetically and took me to a whole new level. And now I get it. And now I'm so happy that happened. So let go of the it won't do anything. It's a really common fear though. So thank you, again, for sharing so honestly. But you cannot, Sarah's literally saying, you cannot take an inspired action and not do anything, because every time you take an inspired action, the universe shifts, okay? Every time you take an inspired action, whether it's small or big, but every time you do it, the universe responds to you and to that inspired action. So does that help, darling? I hope so, sweetie. And I love you so much. I'm so happy you're here. Okay. Oh, Lucy's on as well. I love you guys. Right. Joanne says, I believe in LOA, but sometimes that fear flashes back. And it's really, really common. So again, the inner circle is going to be perfect for this. 3 months of full immersion into this. where you just get your belief and you just know that it's real. Okay, so just know that it is real. Keep creating lots of truths around it, and it is common, but it's about ongoing mastery around this. So don't let that fear come in. It is real. It is real. It is real. Okay, do not let that fear come in. Okay, and do the limiting beliefs process, Joanne, as well, darling. Okay, let me just scroll. Okay. Diana says, my other half is challenging me all the time. I want to murder him, lol. He is no support to me in so many things and does not understand or care for anything involving this group and LOA. It drives me mad at times. It's taken up so much of my energy to be around him. There has been some things at work which I am taking ever more so now that I need to be out of here. With Brexit uncertainties too, I'm just panicking. And again, lots of things are draining my energy. It's quite exhausted this week. I'm going to rest this weekend. So, darling, rest this weekend. I know that we have spoken and we both know what it is that you have been inspired to do, and it's time to do it. So this is what's happening with all the love in the world. You've been given the guidance. You aren't following it yet. And so the universe is kind of making you more uncomfortable to try and encourage you to move. So with the work stuff, that is what is going on there, because you're not actually moving with the guidance. There's too much fear still, which I can understand. I can relate to that fear, trust me. But nothing's going to really shift until you actually move that inspired action. In terms of your other half, it's very common. Again, I work with so many women whose other halves don't, aren't really getting this whole thing, basically. But again, it's more about you being a vibrational master and not allowing his vibration to impact yours. And what Sarah's saying is, when you follow the guidance that you've been given and you are then fully happy, it will raise his vibration too. And so often people around me, like this week, guys, how many of you have had your vibration lifted because I've come on and put my vibration out here to you? So many of you have felt such a big shift this week. And it's exactly the same with all people in your lives. When you are working on your vibration, by default, those around you, their vibration starts to lift as well. So I hope that helps, darling. I love you so much. I really, really do. And I relate to where you are, but it's really the universe trying to get you to move, because you're kind of where I was when I was in London and not moving. It started to feel absolutely exhausting and draining, and I was unhappy, and I was like, this is not working for me. This is not working for me. This is not working for me. And that's because the universe was trying to get me to shift. It's like this. So often, guys, Sarah's just saying, if you've got something and it's not working and it's not working and it's not working, tune into yourself, because it's you getting guidance saying this way isn't working. Try it another way. And when you try it the other way, that's in alignment with that guidance that you are ignoring, when you stop ignoring that guidance, you move with it, everything shifts. Okay, so I'm sending you so much love. I really am, because I've been there. But again, aligned and limitless, darling, could be awesome for you. A real point of 3 months of focus to get out of this. And I have so much love for you because I have been there and I get it. And so now let me help you move. Let's move. And I'm sending you huge hugs, and you can do this, and you've got this, and we're in this together. But it is time to listen to the guidance now, darling. Okay, Claire, when you asked yesterday about what would be the most exciting, I knew it was just tweaking and editing and making do, when I really want to change. Oh, yes, Claire, I love it. I love it. That's amazing. I knew I was just tweaking, editing and making do, and I really want to change. Darling, the academy would be amazing. Sorry, the inner circle would be amazing for you too. You're exactly the right point where it would be a really good match. So That's literally what I've just said to the lady above you. When something's not working, it's not working. It's like, right, this is not working, because it's the universe trying to say, hello, you're going over there, and really we want you to go over here. Come over here. It's much easier over here. So that is freaking powerful. I love that. I can't wait to see what unfolds with that, and move with that. And remember, you changing direction isn't failing, isn't doing something wrong. It's literally you being guided to do something in an easier way. And life is about expansion and shifting. We're not supposed to be doing the same thing our entire lives. Okay, even me, I've got this awesome Facebook group, but I've also written books. I've also now got my other group, which is for people that want to know about what comes next when you move beyond the art of manifesting. When I started this 2.5 years ago, I had no idea that I'd end up doing that. So it's always a journey. So move with the guidance. You cannot get it wrong. Don't even worry about anyone, what anyone thinks. I was speaking to another client a few days ago, who was going to have to make some changes, and she was worried about what other people think. It's like, do not even worry about what other people think. Okay, it's about your expansion. And sometimes it can feel like you are moving backwards when you base your Sorry, we start again. Sometimes your ego may say, oh, but that's moving backwards. So for example, Claire, your ego might or might not be saying, oh, but stopping that and starting something from scratch again is moving backwards. It's not. And I've been through that myself so many times. It's never moving backwards. It is always expanding, but it's expanding within the universal guidance. Okay. So shift any perception of getting it wrong or moving backwards, guys, because you can never get it wrong, and you just can't. When you're moving with that universal guidance, you are always moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it at times. So huge love to you, Claire. I love that. Being with the truth this day, getting rounded and connecting to my true desires and most exciting vision. Awesome, Claire. Harris, thank you. Yes, yes, just visiting for a few weeks and working on launching an online premium course. Yay! I love it, darling. I love it. Bryony says, how do you know that an idea is an inspired action to be followed? Oh, really good question. You feel it. So an idea that kind of feels very thought-led doesn't feel easy. It doesn't feel exciting. It feels like a should, if that makes sense. How do you know that an idea is an inspired action to be followed? If it's like a sudden, oh, that's cool, and you feel it in your body, that's an inspired action. So as I said, I had a few this morning. I was like, oh, that's a new way to like look at something or think about something. And so I wrote it down, and I'll come back to it later this afternoon. So I've got some clarity calls this afternoon for the inner circles. If anyone else wants to put clarity calls, I'm doing them now. They start today. So if anyone wants one over the next week, just inbox me. So you feel it in your body, basically. So whereas when you're thinking about how to do something, like so often, this is why I don't teach strategy, because it's the hard way around of doing things. If you're thinking, right, I want this, how am I going to get there? And you think and you think and you think, you're being very head-led. Whereas an inspired action is more of a feeling. So it may come through as an idea, but it's often when you are doing something completely different. So the inspired action I had this morning, I was actually on a coaching call and it came through. So it's often when you are doing something completely different, it kind of just pops in like, oh, that feels different, it feels good, and I can kind of feel it in my body, and that's the kind of thing to follow. So like I said, the one that I've had this morning, I will be sitting down this afternoon when I finish my calls and be playing with that. But it very much feels, it kind of sparks you a bit, or it feels good in your soul. It's not head led, if that makes sense. It comes up here, is how I feel. It pings, but my inner being kind of lights up when it pings, and that's when I know it's an inspired action. When I'm saying pinging, it makes it sound like a microwave. When my inner being pings. So I hope that helps, darling. But any more questions, let me know. Claire says, I'm avoiding what I really want. Okay, excellent. So when you stop avoiding what you really want and you move with it, that's when it unfolds really fast. I see it all the time. So that's a massive realization for you to have that shift. That really is. It feels like a real leap forward into my aligned self, truth, highest excitement, not backwards. Excellent. Bryony says, of course, it's all about the feeling. Thanks for the reminder. You're welcome, darling. Would I be right that it jumps in from nowhere? Yeah. Ping. Yeah, it does. So again, so often when you are trying to think about how to do something or manifest something or get something or make something happen, you're kind of putting resistance on the trail because you are overthinking. So that's why these inspired actions tend to come through when you are totally off topic. And that's why so often when people are in contrast, I literally say, get off topic, go and do something that takes you out of your head and into your soul and loosen that resistance. So yeah, it literally pings from nowhere quite often. So yeah, awesome. So my darlings, does anyone else have any questions? I'm just going to see if there's anything else I wanted to cover off today, but basically, you know some of this magic now. So use it. Take what you've learned in this boot camp and use it. If you want to go even way more beyond this and have a full immersion into this into a breakthrough quantum shift 3 months, then the inner circle is perfect for you. You're exactly the kind of person that the universe wants me to work with. So the link is above. Keep staying true to you, but know that now it is time to bring this all in. There's no more waiting. What are you waiting for? There's no more waiting. Like, literally allow yourself to be led. Move with that inspired action. Keep up with your inner being. Your inner being is taking you where you want to go. And Claire, actually, you just had quite a big breakthrough there. Your inner being's been trying to take you there, and you haven't really been going. But now you know where you really want to go. Now keep up with your inner being, okay? And it's all there in your vortex. So Sarah sometimes calls me the vortex unlocker, and I love that because that is literally what I am passionate about doing, okay? And in the inner circle, it's going to be 12 90-minute sessions across the 3 months, obviously an intimate group. So there'll be a Facebook support group as well, but also anyone that joins will get a 45-minute private session just with me on their own, and I'll give you a questionnaire, and as soon as you sign up you will get that questionnaire, and then from there that starts your transformation. As soon as you leap and sign up, the universe will rearrange. I've lost count of the number of times that clients sign up for something and then the money comes straight back in. So you know, that's kind of how it's going to work. It's going to be 3 months, 12 90-minute sessions plus your private one-to-one session, an intimate group. It's for those of you that are ready to soar into the next decade, who are ready to stop waiting now, who are ready to be truly aligned and limitless. If you want to have a chat with me, obviously inbox me. If you're feeling called, then obviously just book on. Places are limited, and I'm so excited to get started on the 4th of November, which is actually my 40th birthday, which I think is very special from an energy point of view too. So I'm really excited to start. So I love you so much. It looks like there aren't any more questions coming through. I've probably exhausted you all, haven't I? It's been a very powerful week. I know some of you will not be able to keep up with each session that I've done each day, and we'll be watching this over the next few days. But just remember, stay true to you. Sarah said earlier as well, which I've written down, don't be talked back around to doing it the hard way. Do not, and she's never said that to me before. Don't be talked back around to doing it the hard way. You have been given some real insight this week in terms of how to make this easy. So don't be sucked back in by other people who are doing it the hard way, is what she's saying. It's quite firm with love, but it's quite firm. She's right. It's so easy to end a week like this and then go back to being normal and doing it the hard way, which again is why the 3 month inner circle is so powerful, because that I won't let that happen. It's like 3 months of let's get this ingrained in you so you can go and soar. And obviously the friendships you will make when you're on that course as well, you will have for life. That happens all the time in my group programs, Real Connections for life, because we are a powerful tribe together out here at the leading edge of the leading edge. More of us need to be connecting in and supporting each other and loving each other as we expand. But do not leave this live today and get sucked back in. Okay, you now know the power tools. Claire says, thanks, big shifts this week and some bigger ones coming. Kate says the 12 90-minute sessions can be on catch up. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? One of my favorite client stories, I think the timings would work though, Kate, for America, because I would be doing them at lunchtime. But one of my favorite stories of one of my very favorite clients, I love all of my clients, but one of them was so awesome. She was in the US and she was 8 hours behind me. And she got up at 4 a.m. for each call and was on there. And I was just so impressed by her, because there's no bigger sign that you are serious about leaping. So this is kind of why I say with love, for anyone that says they don't have time, or they don't, you know, they you know, whatever reasons their egos are bringing up, I'm like, I have had clients that have literally moved mountains to make this happen. And when you really are aligned to moving with that inner guidance, if the course feels aligned to you, when you move with it, the universe moves around you massively, and it did do that for her. But I'm not saying you need to get off at 4 a.m, Kate, because I will be doing this the sessions at lunchtime, so I know the time difference, it won't be too bad for you. But you can of course watch on catch up. On that same course, actually, I did have someone that wasn't able to join most of the sessions live, but she watched the sessions on catch up, and she now calls me her earth angel, her earth angel. She always calls me her angel and kind of says she sees me with wings, and she has completely flipped her life around as well. So again, it's, you always get back what you put in. So those two women are incredible examples of, they were just ready to shift, and the magic transformed them hugely. And actually both of their testimonials are on the website page for this course. So yeah, they can be on catch up, but yeah. Thanks, big shifts. I've just read that, Claire. Sorry, reading that again. I need to stop watching other hard worker strategy folks. Yeah, you do, basically. Well, you do if you want to do it the easy, limitless and aligned way. No, you know, no one has to stop doing anything, but for you guys, it is my deepest wish that you don't go off of this week and now be talked back around to doing it the hard way, because I just can't bear it. I did it the hard way for so many years. I'm 40 in a couple of weeks, and thank goodness by the time I'm 40, I have learned how to do it the easier way. And it's never too late. Louise Hay didn't get started until she was in her mid 50s or 60s, I think it was. So it's never too late, but stop making it later is what Sarah's saying. So move with this, guys, and know that we love you so much. And you know, yeah, we just love you basically. So I hope you've really enjoyed the content this week. And go out there, be aligned and limitless. The whole multiverse is cheerleading you on. I'm cheerleading you on. And I love you guys to the edges of the multiverse and back. Thank you for being a part of this boot camp. I love you, I love you, I love you. And I will speak to you all very, very soon. Mwah. Bye.